getting started with my business, there were a lot of naysayers as well as just a lot of things that I had to overcome. And so I wanted to talk to you about maybe that's where you're at right now. Maybe that's what you're feeling. And maybe you can listen to this video and it will hopefully inspire you and help you just kind of cut through all the crap. I don't know if I'm allowed to say crap on YouTube, but we're gonna go with it. All right, I am Anastasia, the Oilymommy, and on this channel we talk about business tips and oil tricks. And today I am going to be giving you just help. I'm starting my business and there's just a lot of feelings and things and emotions going through my head right now. So watch this before you decide to give up, all right? Give yourself a chance. So I wrote down a bunch of things that, a bunch of tips for not giving up and what I wish I would have known when I started. You know, don't we all wish we had that, like that roadmap of what I wish I had known or the things I could tell you to avoid. But that's true. Like that's what I wrote out, is the things I want you to avoid. So if you are just thinking about starting a business, if you're already there and you're feeling discouraged and you're wanting to give up, or if you just started and now you're getting this flood of stimulus and information and doubt and fear and all the things, let's talk about that. Let's unpack that a little bit. And let me talk you through the things that worked for me and the things that didn't work for me. All right, so the main thing is you just have to start. I mean, like truly, you do. You just have to start. And you have to start messy. You have to know that it's okay to start messy because nobody is perfect. And even the people that you think and you look at and you're like, oh my gosh, they're perfect, or they must be perfect, or they have perfect lives. Trust me, they're not perfect. They're human. We're all human. So if you are a woman and you are starting a business, like first of all, I just want like the fanfare right now. I want to congratulate you and I want to say, way to go. You are amazing because you already have so many odds stacked against you. So, I mean, even just built into our DNA, I would say we have so many odds stacked against us because, and I'm gonna use this example, and you know, there's gonna be men that are gonna be upset with me, but it's okay because this channel is for women and who I'm speaking to is you, and maybe you can relate to this. But when I first started with my business, I was trying to juggle and figure out, and for a long time I did juggle the whole responsibilities of being a wife and a mother and a caretaker, and trying to also like start my business and figure out what I'm doing and emails and SEO and I mean just so much stuff, right? And oils and who would like how to use these things and all the things, right? Because I started off with this oil business and I was kind of envious of my husband because I would look at him and it was just kind of like he went to work, and at the time he was going through flight school, so that's a whole other thing, but that's a lot. He was learning to be a pilot in his 30s and we already had a whole bunch of kids and I was pregnant and then I'm trying to start this business and I just felt very in over my head. And a lot of it was because my expectation that I had put on myself and kind of society puts on us, especially just being millennials, the age that I am at. Yes, I know I'm a millennial, but being the age that I'm at, this was something that was just expected. It was kind of the way that our mothers and our grandmothers, you know, imparted to us or put on us because this is what they did. And so it was the expectation of, well, you have to take care of this. Yeah, you can do your little hobby or your little side gig or your little business, but like the most important thing is that you're this wife and you're this mother. And again, I'm not saying it's not important to be a wife and a mother. It is extremely important. And in fact, I believe it is a full-time job. So that's why I'm saying applause to you that you are starting a business, because it's gonna take time and energy and it's gonna be hard, right? Anything worth having is going to be worth fighting for. Let me say that again, because maybe that's your takeaway from this video. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. And if you're starting a business, you're creating something. And that is worth fighting for. That essentially is your baby. I kind of dabble in dream, dream interpretation. And one of the things that you learn in dream interpretation is sometimes when someone has a dream about having a baby or being pregnant, it could actually mean something you're birthing out of creativity, out of your own genius. And so they will teach you in proper dream interpretation that when you are pregnant or when you are having a baby or have a baby in a dream, it means that you are birthing something, that you have something that it's in its infantile state, and it's going to need to be nurtured and cared for and poured into like you would with an infant, actual baby. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to be pregnant or that you are pregnant or that you're gonna have this child. It can, but that's a topic for another time and probably another entire show of sorts. All right, so the reason I'm saying all of that is because for men, typically the expectation is, oh, well, you're the wife, so you're going to do this. Now, I wanna say before people start like bashing me or bashing my husband, that is not our marriage and our relationship. And we can talk about that, about having those hard conversations and talking about expectations in marriage and talking about it maybe even before you get married, or then if you're already married, talk about what the expectations are that you have of the other person, because most of the time people get divorced because they have unmet expectations, but they've never communicated those expectations. Okay, so that leads me into my next point. Communicate with your spouse. If you are a woman and you are starting a business and you are married to a person, communicate to that person what you want to do. And a lot of times you're going to find encouragement and inspiration in that, being able to share and dream together and say, this is what I want to do. Whatever it is that you want to do. You want to start an oil business. You want to work at Wendy's. I don't know. You want to be the CEO of Amazon. Like, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, talk to them about it. Because also, you can't do everything. So some things are going to have to give. Some things are going to have to go. You have to evaluate what is going to be a priority in your life, because when you start a business, your priorities are going to have to change if you want your business to be successful. So here's another tip. If you want your business to be successful, treat it like a business. Don't treat it like a hobby. Even if the naysayers are telling you, oh, that's sweet, that's cute, you have your nice little side gig. No. Listen, I took a $150 oil kit that came with like 10 oils, didn't even have a diffuser, and I turned that into a 6-figure income by being a stay-at-home mom and doing this online. All right, that's what I did. So I challenge you, go do the same and do it even bigger and better and just be fulfilled in whatever it is that you do. But you are gonna have to believe in yourself, and you're going to have to treat it like a freaking business. You can't, I'm gonna go on a little tangent here for a second. You can't expect to get paid from any job, all right? Let's just talk about a 9-to-5 job. You can't expect to get a paycheck if you're not gonna show up to your 9-to-5 job. It's just not gonna happen. They're gonna be like, you decide, oh, I'm gonna just show up one day, out of the month. I have people in my business that do this, and they show up like one day and then they're like, oh, I'm just so bummed. Like, I don't know why my business isn't growing. And I'm like, because you show up one day. So you're getting one day's worth of effort. I mean, it's not rocket science. There you go. You can be a rocket scientist. I don't know what you want to be, but you need to go out and be it. You need to go out and do it. And you just need to start. Like, it just keeps going back to that. So just start. All right, here's another one. Get rid of the excuses. You're always gonna have them. All right? It's kind of like that, what they say about opinions of other people. Like, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you need to care about it. It's just everybody has one. So everyone's gonna have an opinion. And everyone's going to give you, almost everyone is going to give you a reason or an excuse not to do it, including yourself. All right, especially if you're a perfectionist, you are going to be the loudest naysayer in your head. So you're gonna have to get rid of the excuses and get rid of the naysayers. All right, also, don't compare. You can't be running your marathon swimming. Okay, so I competed and did swimming for years and years when I was a child and had a swimmer's body. But anyways, I competed in swimming, and if you looked, they taught you. My coach, Alice, he was a man. He was a big buff man, but his name was Alice. And he taught me that you cannot look to your left or look to your right, look to your opponents when you are in a race. You have to stay in your lane, and literally stay in your lane. Keep your eyes in your lane, because even that half a point of a second that you look over could be what you lose by that much. So stay in your lane. Don't compare. Put your blinders on, stay focused, look at what's in front of you, look at what you need to do, and do it. That's gonna be my next point. What do you need to do? What is the one most important thing you need to do that day, that week, that month, that year? You need to have that written out so you know what it is that you need to do. If it's, I need to look for a job so that I can start a job, then look for the job. And then once you find the job, what's the next thing you need to do? Okay, keep your promises to yourself. Not keep your promises to yourself as in don't tell other people about them. But if you make yourself a promise like, I am going to start an oil business next week, then keep your promise and start the oil business next week. Sign up to be an advocate. Sign up to sell the oils. That's your first step. All right, keep the promise you make to yourself. For me, it was, I'm going to make X amount of videos each day for this week. And I am keeping that promise to myself. Currently, my husband is making dinner and the kids have knocked on the door at least 5 times. Because there's like 5 of them. So I'm keeping the promise that I made to myself. You need to keep the promises you make to yourself, okay? And that leads me into the next point. Don't overbook yourself. There is a lot, it's going to be a learning curve, especially when you're starting out or when you're learning a new thing. So give yourself grace and don't put too much on your plate. My husband loves to say there's only 100% of Anastasia. Okay, there's not 110%, there's not 200%, I really wish there was. There's only 100%. And so there's only 100% of you. You have to see what you're able to actually do. Because again, this goes back to, you're going to communicate with your partner, your spouse, whoever it is, and you're gonna say, I want to do this thing, and this is how much of me it's going to take. This is how many hours it's gonna take. This is how much energy it's gonna take. And maybe you don't know that right off the bat, but let me just tell you, it's gonna be way more than you're gonna think that it is going to take. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Find your creative space. I am a huge believer in this. Your atmosphere is going to affect how you are able to show up and accomplish what you're setting out to do. You have to be inspired by your surroundings. That's what I'm talking about. So if you love the color black, put black on the walls or get like a drop cloth or something. If you love glitter like me, I think glitter's my favorite color. So if you love glitter like me, like get some glitter in bottles, order them off of Amazon and put them on your desk, and it's gonna make you feel happy. Like get yourself a space, improve the atmosphere, and it will improve your creativity and your productivity. All right, and I think an atmosphere also involves diffusing of essential oils. Right now I'm diffusing lemon and peppermint. Why? Because they make me feel happy, they make me feel alert, they make me feel focused, they help me to concentrate. That's why. So it's improving my atmosphere. You need to do that. If it's your closet or your bathroom or a section of your bedroom, or if you live in a loft, then it's a portion of that place, or it's in front of a window where you can like see life and sunlight. All right. So that is something that is important. All right. Plan backwards. So what I mean by this is, where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? So plan backwards accordingly. To be where I want to be 5 years from now, I need to be having my business scaled to such a level where I'm making 6 figures and I am completely debt free and I'm saving for my kids, Roth IRA. I don't know, I'm just putting that out there. That may or may not be something that I want to do. So 5 years I want to do that. Okay, well then what do I need to do this year? Next thing you need to do is remove the word impossible from your vocabulary, or just separate it. The word itself says, I'm possible. Impossible, I'm possible. So no more are you going to say impossible. Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. I don't know if any of you remember that from Cinderella, but anyways. So it's possible. I'm possible. Anytime you want to say impossible, or it's impossible, or I can't do it, you're going to change the word to I'm possible, I can do this, I can do this. I just have to figure out a way. And that is my next tip. Where there is a will, there is a way. And you can figure out a way. You just have to have the will to do it. So no more telling yourself that you can't do it. No more saying you can't learn that thing, you can't do that thing, you can't take a class, you can't, anything is basically available to you with just a Google search. Like legit, it's a search engine. You can type in pretty much anything nowadays, a video, a blog, something will pop up that can help you learn how to do that thing. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand, because that's how I have felt so many times. I'm like, I just can't do this. I can't do this. I need help. Next thing, you do need help. So nobody can do everything successfully on their own. You need help. So what help might look like in the beginning is you're going to dedicate 3 hours a day to your new job, because you're gonna start from like grassroots, and okay, I don't know what it is that you're going to be doing, but let's just say it's 3 hours a day. And something that you could outsource, all right, is hiring someone to come clean your house, because maybe you are a house clean freak and you can't handle seeing clutter or dirt or anything like that. If that is the case, then you need to outsource that and have someone come and clean your house for you. And then you transfer a fee. You pay them money and they clean your house, and now you free up time as well as just time in your brain to be able to just go, that's done. It's like checked off your list. You don't have to deal with it. You don't have to do it. Okay. Next. Get help. Yes, there we go. I did say that. Oh, I think that was, okay. I have a quote for you. Here it is. Quote to live by. Well-behaved women seldom make history.